Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Sorry, I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, we apologize.
That's good.
I'm Inspector Shannon, the Senior Inspector Baggio,
Hi, nice to meet you.
and we were here to address the
We got a complaint
Oh.
here at the housing department. We got a complaint about,
It's been numerous, but which one?
this one.
Because I think they were going to follow up on something, but
Yeah, a leaking plumbing fixture.
Okay, okay.
And the electrical service needing maintenance.
Okay. Well, you can come in, yeah.
I tried calling. I left a couple messages for you. I don't know if you got my messages.
I didn't get to them yet, but I did see one or two.
Oh, okay.
Can you be more specific about the? I'm going to show you everything they did, but I don't want to miss anything.
It was regarding the plumbing, the garbage disposal, and the drain.
Okay. Well, they fixed the garbage disposal, so I'll show you that. And the
Okay.
reason why they were here before when they were fixing it, but the reason why they didn't, the reason why the inspector said he was going to leave it open was because they had turned the water off to the building,
So he did check.
so he
to see
couldn't
if
check. Yeah, but it had been fixed. So I'm going to show you the garbage disposal, and then the bathroom problem was they had to refinish the top of it. So I know they did that, but what happened was the water volume was low.
Okay.
So they had to put new pipes in for the hot water and cold water. So
And
that's
have they
probably
done
what
that,
you're,
or-
yeah.
Oh, they
Well, they
did.
had to put the new pipes in, but you guys didn't come back because they hadn't done it yet.
Okay.
But they put new pipes in, and then some reason I happened to look under because we thought something was leaking, and they hadn't patched up the hole where they put the pipes in.
Okay.
So they had to come back and patch up the hole. So they did come back and patch up the hole
Okay.
this week. So you can look at whatever
Okay.
you want. Yeah.
Okay.
But
What
that's,
about the results of something about an electrical service needed maintenance?
well, it's just been a big thing going around for 3 years that our intercom's not working. So that was the only issue on that.
Oh, okay.
I can show it to you. You can look at the box, but yeah, they haven't.
But nothing with the electrical service
Yeah,
itself.
you have electricity, everything functions in your unit.
Well, our intercom doesn't function.
Well,
It's
no,
connected-
no.
I'm
No,
sorry.
I mean-
I'm sorry.
Outside
I'm
of
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry.
Outside
I'm
of
sorry.
that.
Outside that, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Because that's connected to the box in the back, and 15 units here. The city approved the intercoms for them, so I don't know why they haven't fixed ours, but anyway,
Okay.
that's my issue with that.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, so come on in.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, it's a mess. We were eating. Just didn't know, so
Sorry about that.
it's okay.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay, this is the bathroom, and that's under
Yep.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so it's all patched up.
Yeah.
All right, great.
And the other side was the hot water, but they patched both of them.
Okay.
You wanna check the
Now, I want to ask you about that. You can tell me if it's
Oh yeah.
okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
A question I had about this, and this was, like I said, I don't really know because I just live here. But I didn't know if that. I don't know. Is that you guys have experience with volume? Is that volume okay?
Yes, it looks like it has to have an input of at least 1 gallon per minute. So that would be.
Okay, you guys meant that, yeah.
And
Okay.
here's our biggest problem.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to water conservation. And actually, that's what DWP actually wants. So 10 years ago, you turn it on and water would splash all up. So now with the aerators, it's actually even reduced the volume down from even the natural volume that would have been there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Well,
that's
this one I know how to
adequate, yeah.
replace it, and I actually, when they did the pipes, they said there was debris in there.
Sure,
Because
sure.
the
It's
old
so
pipes,
galvanized,
it was
right.
old
Galvanized
lead
pipe.
pipe, right?
Yeah.
So
Galvanized, not lead.
I mean, not.
Let's hope it wasn't
I
lead.
know, it wasn't lead.
You're gonna end up like the
Well,
Romans.
that's what happened here. The sink was peeling, and I think this is a lead-based paint because it's the original sink, from 1973.
Okay.
So this had all peeled, and he sprayed. You can see it's, he sprayed it. It's all new and everything.
Okay.
But what happened was he hadn't sprayed here, so they had to take the faucet off. And when they took the faucet off and put it back on, then there was no water coming out of the hot water side.
Oh, okay. Maybe you got debris down in there while.
No, that's what I thought it was. But then when they came back and they said no, it's the pipe. So that's why you under there because they
Okay.
replaced the
Gotcha.
pipes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
the
it's
water
not too
pressure,
bad.
water volume's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you the one in the kitchen.
That looks like control central here.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about.
Space station.
I know what you're saying about the. Yeah, they're trying to save water by having the low pressure and all that stuff. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because I'll show you this one, and they probably haven't done this one yet. See, that to me that's a lot different pressure.
Yeah.
Check him and hold off on so I can just see the hot by itself.
Oh, okay. So I because we saw this, right, and then when they put the new faucet on in there, it didn't look as strong, so that's why I had to ask you
Oh, I
about
see
it.
what you're saying,
But
yeah.
they never responded to us, so I didn't really know what was
But no,
correct
yeah, it
there.
looks like it's.
And here's the
You wanna see this?
Yeah.
they put a new one in, so
Oh, okay. Oh, that's all brand new. Yeah.
you can see that.
Okay. Yeah, they piped it properly and all.
Yeah.
So,
If it was leaking, you would have seen it.
yeah, no, it's good. Right.
And I don't know what they had to
Connection's
do,
good,
but
yeah.
I think it was.
And
I
the
think
stops
it's
are new,
probably
yeah.
the inside they replaced, right? Not the whole thing.
No, that's a brand new garbage disposal there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's brand spanking new.
So it was just leaking right there, and then,
Yeah.
like I said, when the inspectors were here, they just happened to come on the day that the pipes in there had burst.
Oh, okay.
So the water wasn't on. You couldn't
Right.
say anything.
Right.
Okay.
So they couldn't check it.
Great. Okay. Well, I guess we're done then.
Okay.
Let me leave you one of my cards so you'll know who came out.
Okay.
I'm Angelo Shannon,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
I'll give you
And
one
this
of mine as well.
Okay.
this is our plumbing expert.
All right.
Here you go.
Okay. Thank you. And you guys will try to check on that intercom system. I don't know what's been your experience,
Well,
but
unfortunately,
I get so many
no.
different stories.
Unfortunately, we will not be able to. The last information we have is from Brian Kirkness, who you spoke with.
I don't know if I spoke to him, but
Well, he put a note.
oh,
in
you mean
that-
I'm sorry, in person,
that he spoke
Yeah.
with you,
In person, yeah.
and he explained it to you.
He said nothing about the intercom. I
Um,
have the
Well-
conversation. We had witnesses, and
no,
I mentioned it to him
Well,
in front of the witnesses.
well,
and
I'll
he
tell you
didn't-
what I'll do.
But,
I'll kinda-
but go on. You
I'll
can,
do a little
yeah.
recap then, just
Okay.
because
That's
these
fine.
aren't my words now. I'm just
No, it's
okay.
fine.
All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, this is from May 16th.
I think May is the. I talked to Mike Soto. I think his name was.
Correct.
Yeah, Mike Soto was
Correct.
the inspector.
Correct.
And
Oh,
then
okay. So,
his supervisor was, I think it was Jim Blythe, and then
Right.
his supervisor is Brian Kirkness.
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
Well, Mike came out first.
Yeah.
and
okay.
he
So they never
inspected-
did. They never
he
did come back and tell you the total, what their findings were on that. They never mentioned that.
No, because Mike Soto came first, and
Right.
then he checked the sink, and then Brian and James came. Was it James came second?
Yeah.
Came out
Okay.
second, and that's when they couldn't, because everything was
That's
off.
what the
Okay.
water was off of.
Well,
But I
I'll-
mentioned the intercom to them both times, but they said Mike said that the Mike came out the second time with both of them, and he said it was still open and that
Okay.
they were looking into it, and that's all he said.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had any other conversation with them.
Oh, okay. Well, let me give you what their conclusion was.
Okay.
Regarding the intercom, the case has been cleared as the intercom was not a requirement at the time of construction. The intercom was added as an amenity at a later time. Reviewed the rent investigators' information and enforcement cases. Discovered documents that the intercom system was not operable at the time of the complainant's tenancy, and rent determined determined no reduction in services was required in 2015. Violation regarding non-operational vehicle, that goes into a vehicle. So, what they determined was it is an amenity that is not required, and that they had spoken with rent to see if they could get you a rent reduction. But because it was not constructed originally with the building, they could not do that as well.
That's the original, right
So-
there. That's the original,
so-
and I have it.
So wait,
if you
hold
want,
on,
if you,
wait,
oh, I'm
wait,
sorry, I'm
wait,
sorry,
wait,
I'm sorry.
wait,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Don't
go ahead.
don't kill the messenger.
No.
Don't kill the messenger. So I'm just
No, I don't want to kill you.
I'm just reading what their determination was.
Right.
And that was
Well, I don't have a
Five-
copy of it, so I'm just trying to
560.
respond to what you're saying.
Oh, no,
Just
quite
just
understandable.
between you and me.
quite understandable. So ultimately, the senior inspector Brian Kirkness.
Actually, he's the principal inspector.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's the bigger boss. So Brian Kirkness has determined that unfortunately that case is closed at this
Okay.
time.
Okay. So can I comment, or you not
Yeah,
finished?
no, go ahead. I want to bring you up to speed on the intercom. Because,
Well,
in other
go
words,
ahead.
basically, we've got nothing to do with it
Yeah.
at this point.
Well, I don't know if they told you the history of the intercom in this building, but if you want to hear the history. But,
No, not really.
Okay,
But
well.
if you want to, you can.
No, he's
The,
saying they didn't tell him. That's
Oh,
what he's
oh. Well, you know, I have pictures of the building when it was, you know, not when it was built, but actually, and the problem came about in 2014 when the new owner took over. And in 2014, we were here in 2010, so we know there was an intercom here, and we know that it was working. And we know that it came with the building, so, you know, we talked to the previous manager. But anyway, when the new guy took over and everything, then it's been a big controversy with the city and with the owner. I'm trying to remember what you were saying just now, but anyway, basically, it's not an amenity, it's a housing service. Everything in there is a housing service, because the city defines, if you look under the rent control, rent adjustment regulations, the city defines a housing service as anything that's in the unit for the use of the tenant. There's no distinction in the city's definition of housing services for the word amenity. It's just anything that's in there for the use of the tenant, and the phrase they use is including but not limited to. So what you can call it an amenity, you can call it anything you want to, but the city has already defined it as a housing service because
And we
it's here
can
for our
discuss
use.
semantics all day long.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Well, it's not semantics, it's the city's definition.
And guess what?
So I didn't know if the city informed you that the city, you know, there's been a renovation to this building where they have upgraded. And so all the units, I'm sorry, not all, there's 18 units, and 15 out of 18, the owner has replaced the intercoms. He's put a brand new box on the outside. He's put a new box on the inside, and of the 15 units. But we were here before he started doing those renovations. He skipped over us by giving the same kind of excuses that the city is giving. So we have put in, or I had put, I'm sorry, rent control complaints almost every month for the last 3 years, and I'm going to continue putting them in because we shouldn't be treated.
Now, you know,
we
I've got to
shouldn't be
put that
treated.
in my work log
We
now,
shouldn't be
though.
treated.
You know, I've got
Go
to
ahead.
put
I'm
that
sorry.
in. So
We shouldn't be treated in a
every month
discriminatory
I've got to put that
manner
in.
by the city. Okay. No, I'm going to put it in every month. I put it
understand,
in every
because-
other week
because
until
unfortunately at some point they-
until it gets addressed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because at some point
And I
they
didn't-
kind of
go
look
ahead.
at it as like, oh boy, every month and we don't find violations. It kind of puts a bad cloud over what it's kind of like crying wolf. So when something really is needed, unfortunately.
Well, you know something, I don't care what your semantics are, but the fact is that this
Well,
is
I'm just
connected.
expressing
This is
to you.
connected to the electrical system to this building.
Okay.
And when they put the box into the new units, okay, that was approved by the city. They had to get a certificate of occupancy because it was new and because they got a rent increase passed on to
Not
me.
quite correct,
When
but
they
continue.
got all that, okay, that was a city decision in writing that the tenants like myself have to pay a rent increase for that box that was installed on the front that's benefiting the 15 units, but not me. Okay. The law says, that's, you know, I know you guys deal with housing law, building and safety, and because I went over this with building and safety code enforcement, they said, oh, they didn't say anything about amenity. They said, oh, we don't have jurisdiction over that. And I said, yes, you do, because the building code for the state of California says that you guys have jurisdiction over every portion of the building. You can look it up yourself. That's the wording, every portion. So you can't come here and say to me, we don't have jurisdiction for whatever reason, because the building code that you're supposed to enforce. Now, you may have discretion to say, well, we're going to walk past this wire that's hanging out here. We're going to walk past this. It doesn't work. You may have that discretion, but you do not have the discretion to say you do not have authority over every portion of the building. You do not have that
Now,
discretion.
I'm
okay?
gonna speak-
And
Wait,
rent
hold on, hold on.
control,
I'm gonna
rent
speak- I'm
control
gonna
does
speak
not
it-
have
I'm gonna-
discretion to
I'm gonna
say
speak into your
that this is
camera.
not a housing service. Okay.
I'm
No,
gonna
I put the camera over there.
Okay, I'm going to speak into your camera. Unfortunately, I can't help you with that,
Well, I don't agree with you.
which
That
is
you
your
can't
which
help
is your
me.
right.
Okay.
But
And
I want to
that's not
express
acceptable.
on
So what I
video
want to say to you is
that
that
unfortunately
the
at
city,
this time I
if they
can
didn't
no
tell you,
longer
if they
help
didn't tell you that the
So.
city is involved in litigation regarding this apartment, and the city has been sued and is still in litigation regarding this apartment. It's in court right now, Central Court District. You have to call the city attorney's office. I'm sorry, he can tell you. Code enforcement knows that. Code enforcement is named in the complaint. And this is just going to keep going on because as long as it doesn't work,
Yeah.
guess what? It's my obligation under state law as a tenant to report something that's not working. It's my obligation under the rent agreement, a written agreement, which is recognized by state law, if something's not working, okay? That's my obligation. And it's the owner's obligation to repair it.
Quite
okay?
understandable.
The city, there's no city agency, there's no city agency
I hate
that
to
has the authority
sir.
to discriminate against me because under
No, I'm not going to allow him to
state
continue.
law,
I'm
under
not
state
giving you
law,
permission to
you
record me
have-
at this time.
Sir, you're in my apartment.
So-
I don't need your permission. You understand?
So, no, I have to do
Let
this
me
for
show
my
you. No, you
legality
don't. No, you don't, sir. Let
of
me
you
show you
recording
something.
the
You see that camera up there?
No, I'm just telling you at this
Right
point.
at the front
I'm
door,
not giving you
there's
permission.
a permit from the
Okay.
police department that authorizes me to have surveillance in this department because there's been threats of terrorism in this department, building. I'm sorry, threats of terrorism. Besides the fact that when you come in my apartment, you disrespect me and you tell me that you have no jurisdiction, okay? You're taking my rent money. The city is taking benefits my rent money, okay? And you're committing a crime, okay? You're taking my rent money for criminal purposes of not dealing with me in a fair, good faith, reasonable manner because you cannot take my money, my rent money, and commit a crime. And I have the right to record, under that permit from the police department, I have the right to report any criminal activity that's in my apartment. And that's what I'm documenting right now, is criminal activity that you're participating with the owner and with the code enforcement to take my rent money and not provide me the services that I'm entitled to. I suggest you look up state constitution, okay? The state constitution of California is mandatory that your agency and everybody in it, including the state government, city government, county government, cannot discriminate. That is in the state constitution, okay? And this is what this is about.
This is
Okay.
what he's going to do. So
Okay,
you
this
guys
is
have
this is nothing about you,
what you're
okay?
supposed to do.
This is
Thank
nothing
you.
about
You
you.
can leave.
Thank
What
you
they're
very
supposed
much.
to do is
He's gonna
listen to
continue
my
to do this.
complaint.
Okay,
Well,
thank you very much.
Okay, well, he's a person, okay, and you two, I assume, are just both black, right? He's a person
It
that doesn't
doesn't
believe,
matter.
no, he's a person that
He's
doesn't
talking
believe
about racism
that blacks
and all
are
this
entitled
kind
to
of stuff.
civil rights. He doesn't feel that blacks
You
are
already-
entitled
I've
to
heard
fair
what you were saying
housing.
about the intercom and
No,
everything.
he's not,
gonna
he doesn't
listen to
feel that
reason,
blacks
so-
are not entitled to
Oh,
fair
you're gonna be
housing.
sitting here all
That's
day
why
long.
he's talking. I'm not asking him to sit here all day.
Okay.
I'm just telling him
They're gonna sit
that
all
there's
day
a
because
lawsuit
that's the way
pending
you've
right
done
now,
everybody who
and this
came
is
here.
all being recorded as evidence for that lawsuit, okay? My intercom still doesn't work. There's 15 people in here, mostly white, who have a working
Thank you very
intercom,
much.
all right? That's denial
Sir,
of full and
thank
fair
you very
housing.
much.
I want to give you one last thing I want you to do, okay? One last thing. One last thing. Okay, one last thing I want you to do. One last thing I want you to do, okay? I can't guarantee this is going to be on the internet, but I'm going to tell you the site to go to because this has been well documented on the internet, okay? Don't have the camera in your face or anything, okay? Sorry.
You said
The
the
site
same
to go
thing, Gary.
to
Nobody's gonna listen to
is
you.
called racism
You
at Hi
guys
Point
done your
Apts.
job. I would
Okay,
go.
why are you
I'm not
talking
sitting
when
here
I'm
just
talking?
listening
Why are
to
you talking when I'm talking? Okay.
I'm going to step
I'm
out.
not talking,
Yes,
okay?
thank you.
Okay, I'm not talking.
'Cause he's gonna-
I just, that's my last word. The website is racism at Hi Point Apartments. You can Google it. You'll see all about this building and you'll see all about code enforcement and you'll probably see some of the complaints that I've made, to code enforcement. So that's my last word.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for
And you
your
know,
time.
blacks
Okay.
cannot discriminate against blacks. It's against the law.
No.
I didn't know if you knew that.
As a graduate of Tuskegee Institute, I
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad you guys are working for code enforcement.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
And I didn't know if you know if you're listening to me, but the law, gives the citizens the right to tape record public officials and the performance of their duties. It's just a law. I think it's the Supreme Court.